Hey, I'm Jason from Wild Earth, and today I'm going to talk about a secret I use for backing up my photos that I think will make you a better photographer. Now, first, before we talk about that secret, there's a most basic backup strategy that you should use, and that's, of course, having at least 3 copies of your photos at all times. That is, 2 copies of your photos on 2 separate hard drives in your house where you live, and a 3rd copy that's somewhere else, like at a friend's house or in your office, or it could be cloud storage. So having 3 copies of your photos at all times. But now I'm going to tell you a secret that I use for backing up that makes the whole process a lot easier. And that is simply deleting your photos. So here's an example of a photo I took a few months ago, or maybe it was last year, I can't remember. But anyways, it was a photo I took, and it's of a bird. And in this photo, you can see that the background is kind of messy, the bird's in a strange spot, it's sharp, and if it was the only photo of the bird that I ever had, I might keep it just for a record shot, because I also like watching birds, but it's not a very good photo. And a few minutes later, this bird flew into a much better spot, and I got this other photo. So I actually can see that this next photo is a lot better than the first one that I showed you, so it doesn't make sense to keep this first photo with a strange background, and so I'm just going to delete it. So I do that with all of my photos. I basically just delete all of these copies of photos that just aren't very good if I get a much better one. But why should you delete your photos? And there are 4 reasons I'm going to give why you should delete your photos. Now, the first one is that it saves time backing up. If you have hundreds or even thousands of photos, then it's going to take a lot of time to copy them to your hard drives, copy them to cloud storage, move them around, go through them, and sort them. So it's a really good idea to just delete your photos because you'll just spend less time doing all this administrative work. Another thing that deleting your photos will help you with is going through your photos. Let's say you want to just go maybe a few months ago and look at this really cool photo shoot that you did. And if you open all of these photos you took in your RAW developer, like Darktable, take our course, or some other RAW developer, then you're going to find that there are just hundreds of photos there. And it's going to take a long time to go through all of them. So if you delete your photos, on the other hand, you won't have to sort through all these mediocre photos. So it also saves time in actually going through your photos. A third thing that deleting your photos helps you with is saving space. Now, I know storage is kind of cheap these days, but if you just save every photo you take, you're going to end up with a pile and pile of hard drives of photos, maybe like a huge stack of them. And when your hard drives die, you'll have to get more hard drives, and it just saves a lot of space. So let's say, typically I delete about 90% of my photos. So instead of having, say, 1 terabyte of photos, I only have 100 gigabytes. And then I don't need to worry about buying new hard drives as often because I delete so many of my photos. So it saves a lot of space, and it will save you money too. And the last reason to delete your photos, and I think this is the most important reason, is that it will make you a better photographer because it will make you more selective. If you force yourself to physically delete your photos rather than just give them a star rating like 2 stars or 3 stars or 4 stars, it really forces you to make a decision on which photos truly are really good. So if you have 3 or 4 photos that are similar, you really have to decide, okay, maybe the first one or the second one is the best. So deleting your photos in this way will make you a better photographer. That's my tip for backing up your photos, and in general, just a good thing you can do in your workflow. Delete as many of your photos as you can, simply because it will give you all these benefits, and most importantly, it will make you a better photographer. I hope this tip helps you on your photography journey, and I'll see you again next time.